Hi guys, it's me, Adam Garratt, and welcome back to the channel where you can watch me make you some delicious food. Well, not for you actually, it's for me, because I'm going to eat all these. I'm not sharing at all. So I woke up this morning and I had a bit of an epiphany. I just decided in my head that I wanted chicken wings. And then I started thinking about what sauce I wanted. Do I want barbecue, spicy one, honey mustard? And then boom, I was like, bacon and cheddar. Oh, now, yes, you're onto something now, Adam. And then I realised it's probably been done 1,000 times before and this is nothing new. But with that being said, it's obviously going to be delicious. This can't fail. In fact, I don't think I've ever met anybody that doesn't like chicken wings in any form. Obviously not raw. So that's what we're going to do. Chicken wings with a nice bacon cheddar sauce. Got a good feeling about this one, guys. A really good feeling. So that's what we're going to make today. If you look down below, you can get a list of all the ingredients that you need. But the first thing we need to do is make the cheese sauce. And to start that off, we need to fry off the bacon and make it nice and crispy. Right, so let's get this bacon cooking. Got some other ingredients there for the sauce. I'm going to put those to one side. We've got our smoked streaky bacon. Now I'm using streaky bacon because I want that nice sort of fattiness that's going to get it really nice and crisp and add lots of flavour. I'm going to get this onto our chopping board. I've got about, I don't know, sort of 6 rashers there, something like that. You don't need to be too fussy. And just slice up your bacon. Listen, this isn't rocket science, guys. You know what to do. You know the score. Okay, and once you've diced your bacon, we're going to get this into a cold pan. And the reason we're starting it off as cold is it helps render all that fat out, so you don't need any oil in there. And I'm just going to get the pan onto a medium heat. And what I'm going to do is just fry this bacon off for about a couple of minutes, just until it's nice and crispy. Right, so I've got our bacon fried off. Now we need to chop everything else up and get the cheese grated. So I've got a couple of spring onions here. Now, any kind of veg you buy from a supermarket, market, wherever, that's exposed, i.e. not in a packet of some sort, please wash it, especially at the minute. So make sure you give them a good rinse, peel off any horrible janky bits, and I'm going to cut these nice and fine. Let's get that onto a plate, out of the way. Then here I've got a rather ropey looking red chilli. That was left over from the burrito video, so I'm going to chuck that in as well. And take out them seeds, because I don't want that in the sauce really. And again, I'm just going to cut this nice and fine. That's that done. Get that onto the plate as well. Next we're going to grate the cheese. Got a really nice, mature, extra mature cheddar here. Use whatever cheese you like, you know, you can use Emmental, Edam, Gruyere even. So I'm probably going to use about half of this 350 gram block. But just taste the sauce as you go along and you can adjust it if you want more cheese. Right, so we are ready to make the cheese sauce. So first thing I'm going to add is about 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter into that pan. I'm just going to pop it onto a lowish heat just to start melting it. And as it starts to melt, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of plain flour, so equal quantities of each. What we need to do is cook that together for a few minutes, just until that flour kind of goes a bit golden brown and toasty, and you're cooking out the rawness, because if you don't do this step, you're going to have like a raw taste of flour in your sauce, and you don't want that, guys. You don't want that. And after a few minutes, just give it a quick smell. It should smell really nutty and toasty. So now we can start adding the milk, and I'm just going to use some cold milk and just add a little bit at a time. And what will happen is it will immediately go really thick, and that's fine. That's what you want. See, it's gone like a wallpaper paste. Don't worry, don't panic. That's absolutely fine. Once you've kind of stirred that in, add a bit more, and this is how you get a really rich, smooth sauce. Okay, use cold milk and use hot fat and flour. So what I'm going to do now is just switch over to a whisk, and I'm going to put in the rest of the milk, whisk that through, and I'm just going to let that come to a simmer, and then we can add all the seasonings. Okay, so the sauce has now come to a gentle simmer, and you can see it's thickened up, and it will thicken more as well as we add the cheese. So again, adjust the thickness to taste. You want to add a bit more milk, then do so. So what I'm going to do now is just add some seasoning. So I'm going to go in with some pepper, just a small pinch of salt, because there's going to be salt in that bacon, so I don't want too much in there. I'm going to add about half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, just to get that spicy kick, and about a teaspoon of smoked paprika, because that's going to really ramp up that smoked bacon flavour. A teaspoon of English mustard, the good stuff, none of that American weak stuff. Joking, guys, I'm joking. And I'm just going to grate in about 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Use fresh nutmeg because that powdered stuff is trash. In with the fresh red chilli. And as you can see, it's gone really thick now. So what I'm going to do is just add a bit more milk. Say another 100 ml. Get that in there. And I'm just going to give it a quick taste, see how we're doing for seasoning. Whoa, that's spicy. Woo! Does need some more salt. Next I'm going to add the bacon, but not all of it, because I'm going to use a bit for presentation. And next we can start adding the cheese. And again, add it in stages, because if you chuck it all in at once, it's going to be harder to melt. Melt that through. Okay, so I've melted all that cheese in there. I used all of what I grated. So what I'm going to do with it now is just pop it on the back burner on a very low heat, just to kind of trickle away, okay? Just ever so slightly, you just want 1 or 2 bubbles sort of coming up to the surface. And then at the last minute, we'll add the spring onions. And whilst it's at the back there doing its thing, we can get on and prep the chicken. Right, so let's prepare the chicken wings then. So I've got 1 kilo of chicken wings here. Now, depending where you get them, sometimes they'll come in 3 parts. They'll have the sort of what they call the flat here, and then the little drumette, but sometimes on the tips you'll have the little sort of wing tips. You want to take those straight off because we're not going to use those for this. So I'm going to show you how to just kind of prepare these ready for cooking. And it's really simple to do. All you want to do is just kind of see where the join is for the 2 parts, and you just want to take your knife and just kind of feel for where the sort of knuckly bit is. Just kind of run your knife down and cut through. And it's that simple. So there you've got your little flat, and there you've got your drumette. So I'm going to get cracking through the rest of those, and then we can season them up and get frying. Right, so I've prepped the wings, all in a bowl there. I'm just going to add to that a couple of tablespoons of plain flour. Don't need to be too precise. I'm not looking for like a batter or anything, it's just to kind of help it get a bit crispy. Good pinch of salt, some pepper. Got some oregano here, about a teaspoon, get the lot in. Same with some thyme, again, about another teaspoon. In we go. Bit more of this cayenne pepper, just to add more spice. And of course, a bit more of this smoked paprika. Okay, again, about another teaspoon. Okay, so now you've got your seasoned flour in there. The only thing left to do now is to mix it up. Make sure everything gets nicely coated. And you can see it's a very light dusting of flour. We don't want it caked on there. Okay, so that's the wings nicely mixed up, and they are ready to go. They can go now. You can leave them in the fridge if you want to kind of marinate, but it doesn't need it. So I'm going to get the oil on, nice and hot, and then we can get frying. You see that? It's cold, man. It's cold. I think I better turn the heating on. But the wing is the best part of the chicken, let's face it. It's the most juiciest, it's the most crispiest, most flavourful part. They're just so small, little tiny little bastards. It's not enough, it's not enough. That's why you have to eat like 1 kilo just to be satisfied. That's why I just think we should start breeding dinosaurs, like make Jurassic Park a real thing. Then we can just kind of create humongous dino chickens, so everyone can have like this huge bloody wing. How good would that be? Just like, I don't f***ing know. Right, so I've got my oil here, which I need to get to about 175 degrees C before we put the wings in. Now, do me a favour, guys, just use a proper deep fat fryer, because oil is dangerous stuff, right? If you don't respect it, it's going to mess you up. Okay, so right, now what we need to do is get the wings in, and you're going to have to do these in batches, unless you've got a massive fryer, because if you overcrowd the pan, they're not going to go crispy. I'm just going to use a spider just to kind of move them around a bit, just so they don't stick to the bottom. And they will take about 10 to 15 minutes to cook. You'll know when they're about ready because they'll start to float to the top. So I'm going to fry these off, get them nice and golden brown, and then we're pretty much ready to eat. Right, so I've fried off all the wings. Now I suggest just leaving them for about 5-10 minutes just to cool down slightly, because if you bite into that now, it's going to burn your mouth because they are stupidly hot. I've also added the spring onions to the cheese sauce. Just add them in at the last minute so they stay nice and crunchy, and then we're ready to plate up and eat them. Can't wait, can't wait. You can't have any, too spicy for you.
ISO Wendy's, where y'all from?
ISO. Indies. Yeah. Live live free, speak your piece. Stay humble in these streets, yeah. In these streets.
Oh my God, guys, oh my God. These look and smell incredible. So let's give these a try. Now, my favourite is the flat, so that's what I'm going to have. And I'm going to try the wing on its own first, just to see what it's like. The wing is very lightly seasoned, which is just how I want it, because there's a lot going on in that sauce. So I don't want too much on the wing itself. But they're nice and juicy. Now let's take a drumette and dip it in that sauce. Look at that. Let's get you in closer so you can have a look. There it goes, look at that. Hey, all that cheese, that bacon in there. Oh, yes. Let's give it a whirl. There's not many times on this channel that I'm speechless. That is so good, I'm lost for words. It's supremely unhealthy, don't get me wrong, but who cares? You've got to treat yourself. That sauce is divine. You could put that sauce on a dead fox by the side of the road and it'd taste nice. It's rich, it's cheesy, it's got that nice spicy kick, that smokiness from the paprika and the bacon. I'm pleased with myself on this one, I must admit. And there's also quite a bit of that cheese sauce left, but don't worry, you can cool it down, stick it in the fridge, and it'll make a great pasta bake. You know, mix it up with some cooked pasta, probably loosen it a bit with some milk, put some cheese on the top, whack it in the oven, amazing. So there we have my fried chicken wings with a spicy bacon and cheddar sauce. Well, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did, and I'm sorry I can't pass you any through the screen. If the technology existed, I would, because I'm nice like that. I love my subscribers. But that wraps up the video today, guys, so thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed it, then click that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell icon as well so you get notified of all my uploads. Make sure you share this on your social media profiles, and also leave a comment down below. And I'll see your gorgeous faces in the next video, and bye for now.